Good morning, it's Kurt with Norway Hill Home Inspections, and with winter coming, along comes that with winter driving. And it takes the first storm or two for everybody around here to relearn how to drive. So I'd like to throw some tips out, and hopefully this will help you relearn at a quicker rate. So a couple of items before we get going on the roads. You don't want to drive when you're fatigued. Fatigue will actually affect your reaction time, so that if you encounter slippery road conditions, your reaction time may not be as quick as it needs to be. You also want to warm your vehicle up so that you clear all the ice and snow from the windows, but don't warm your vehicle up in the garage. The vehicle will put off carbon monoxide that can seep into your home, and now you and your family are at risk. So if you have a garage, you want to warm it up, open the door, pull it out, let it warm up in the yard for a few minutes, and then head out on your way. You also want to check for proper tire depth, tread, and inflation. Those all affect winter driving. I've actually switched away from the all-season radials that we all used to run, and I'm switching back to studded snow tires. As road crews are trying to minimize the amount of road salt they're using for environmental reasons, we are having periods of refreeze or snowpack that will last for several days. And the studded snow tires really do make a difference when you're driving in those conditions. Keep your gas tank at least half full. There will be condensation that will form as you go in and out of a warmer garage, back out into the cold. That condensation in today's gas with the ethanol can really screw up the fuel system and leave you stranded on the side of the road. So the fuller you can keep your tank, the less condensation you will form. And about once a month, you may want to put in an additive that will eliminate the water in the fuel. So it should be pretty much common practice, but always use your seatbelt, particularly when you're driving in slippery weather. And always drive the vehicle. Do not allow cruise control to operate while you're in slippery weather. I actually had a friend of mine about 15 years ago, was on cruise control going up 93. They hit a patch of ice, and before he could get the cruise control off and gain control of the vehicle, he actually came around sideways. So cruise control during slippery weather is not your best friend. Best off to leave it off and just drive like we did the old-fashioned way. If you do become snowbound, remain in your vehicle. Tie a bright orange, red, something onto the antenna, just so somebody can see that you're there and either help you out. They'll understand you're in distress, either help you out or prevent you from getting run into. If you're going to be stranded for a long period of time and you're in the middle of a blizzard-like conditions, you do have to get out of your vehicle every so often and clean the tailpipe. If you don't clean around the tailpipe, you'll wind up with carbon monoxide in the vehicle, which becomes a health and life safety hazard for all the occupants in the vehicle. So some tips for driving in the snow. Accelerate and decelerate at a much slower rate than you would on dry pavement. Most of the cars today do have anti-lock brakes, so pumping them can actually defeat the purpose of the anti-lock brakes. The old rule of thumb was you pumped your brakes. Well, we're getting away from that unless you do not have anti-lock brakes. Even though your transmission is an automatic, you can shift to lower gears. We always recommend going downhill, putting in a lower gear, and letting the engine help hold the vehicle back so that you don't have to put your foot on the brake. In the event that you start to slide as you're in a lower gear, move that shift lever up one gear, gain control of the vehicle, and then start to slow down again. And probably the most common sense, stay home. If the weather is that bad, is it really worth going out for that gallon of milk or that newspaper? In my previous life as Director of Public Works, we would see people stuck all the time because they had to go get their gallon of milk or their newspaper. If it's that bad out, stay home. You're actually more of a hazard on the road to the plow operators that are trying to clean it, the emergency vehicles that probably have to go out and about. So the less traffic during those times, the better. So enjoy the winter, have fun, stay safe, and we'll talk soon.